Hello and welcome to HyperDog Digital. This is Scott. Today we're going to take a look at the Lenovo Phab 2 Pro. This is the first Tango enabled smartphone. And Tango, as you know, is the augmented reality technology created by Google. So this is the first phone to actually incorporate that then directly into the phone itself. Let's go ahead and take a look at this guy real quick. And there's the phone itself. Included in the packaging is your wall charger, instructions, and a pair of JBL earbuds, and your standard micro USB charging cable. Not much else in there. So here's the phone itself, and as you can tell, it is a big phone. And let's compare this in size to a Galaxy Note 3. You can tell that the Phab 2 Pro just dwarfs it. So it is a large phone, which is why it's called the Phab for phablet. If you are not one for the large phones, obviously this is not the right phone for you. If you can get past the size, then it is really a really nice phone. Just taking a look at some of the physical characteristics, you can see where the screens are here. It goes almost all the way to the edges. There's very little bezel on the edges, and you do have some at the top and bottom here. It does have capacitive buttons, so it will not use the on-screen buttons. Your earpiece and your front-facing camera right there, of course. On the sides, you have your SIM card slot, volume rocker, and power button. Top is your headphone jack, and on the bottom you have your dual Dolby speakers and your micro USB charging port. On the back you have a fingerprint reader and the various cameras and sensors here that are used for the Tango technology and just the standard camera as well. So that is the basics of the phone as far as the physical layout of it is. Going through some of the actual specs, it does have a 6.4-inch Quad HD display, which gives you a 1440 by 2560 resolution. The rear camera is 16 megapixel and the front camera is 8 megapixel. Of course, Tango augmented reality gaming and utilities. The audio is a Dolby Atmos and has 5.1 audio capture and 3 mics with 360 voice and noise cancellation. The battery is a 4050, that's 4050 milliamp battery, so it's got a pretty huge battery in it, and this thing really just lasts a long time. I really had a hard time draining the battery just on normal use or even heavy use before I had to put it on the charger. The processor is a Snapdragon 652 processor optimized for Tango, and this particular one comes with 64 gig of ROM and 4 gig of RAM, and comes in two colors, champagne gold and gunmetal gray. And as you can tell, this one is gunmetal gray. Performance-wise, the phone has performed very well, actually. I don't have a ton of applications on here, so it's not really bogged down much at all right now. Every transition has been pretty smooth, no noticeable lag between applications or between other screens. The applications I have downloaded and the games I have downloaded have ran very well with no crashes or hang-ups or lags or anything like that. So it does perform very well with the RAM and the processor provided. The camera, again, is a 16 megapixel rear camera and 8 megapixel front camera. It does produce very good pictures. Low light isn't bad. It certainly is not on the same level quite with the Samsung Galaxy S7 or the Pixel phones, but it's still a very good camera, and anybody would have no problems using this just as your standard camera for taking pictures for anything going on. The sound, of course, is your Dolby Atmos with these dual speakers down here on the bottom. It does allow you to listen to the speakers with or without the Dolby enabled, and it does make quite a bit of difference. Listening to movies and music on here is pretty amazing. So that's definitely a plus as far as the phone goes and the features here. Now, of course, the big ticket item on here is Tango. And as you can see, when you open up Tango, you do have several applications that are featured, and these, of course, are your biggest applications. that use augmented reality, like this Fantageist, which is very much like your Pokemon Go, where you're walking around a location and these monsters will come out and attack you, and you gotta shoot them down. A lot of applications also use similar to this, the Measure app, which is created by Google, and of course the Lowe's app here, which are the ones that I've used the most really to test that function out. And what that allows you to do is take a look at your a room that you're in, or a certain area, and you can actually use the phone and the Tango technology to measure certain areas. You can measure walls, floors, or you can map an entire room out, and then using applications such as Lowe's, you can put a couch there or put some different flooring down and get a preview of what it's going to look like. Of course, you have other apps such as this Holo here, or the World app, which allows you to basically put different items and on different areas around your house, so you can have a little city built on your couch if you want to. It's neat, but it's a little gimmicky. These applications really seem to work very well. However, there are quite a few other apps that you can tell haven't quite gotten the idea of how to build for Tango and how to use Tango properly. They still have a lot of problems, and this of course is pretty typical of something that's a very new technology. And as the technology spreads on to other phones and just has been around a little bit longer, people will understand what power it has and the best way to use it and to write apps for it. Expect the apps to expect to have quite a few apps that are out there that really aren't very well done, but hopefully that will change again as time goes on and more people get used to the Tango technology and more phones incorporate it. So in conclusion, I really like this phone. I have no problems with the size. I like the larger phones myself. Watching movies and listening to music on here is phenomenal. Tango is very neat. It does seem a little gimmicky right now, but again, it's a new technology, and when more applications get involved and can really figure out how to use its power, then it's really going to be a very interesting tool. The screen is huge and just beautiful. The colors really pop, and it just looks good compared to any other phone I've put it next to. The build itself is very solid. It's got kind of an aluminum feel to it. This is a really great phone. If you can get past the size, you're going to have a phone that you're going to be really happy with. So thanks again for joining us here at HyperDog Digital, and hope to see you again soon. Thanks.